Hi, I'm Alexx Strobridge. I'm here to do a training for BMG on trim press timing. Today we want to talk about timing of a trim press. When we think about timing a trim press, we want to think about the trim press in rotation. The trim press goes around in a circle. So we have a closed position. This will be our 0 or 360 degree position. At the opposite end, we're going to have the open position. This is going to be our 180 degree position. Now, to think about going in a circle or the distances in between, I like to break it into quadrants. That means that our halfway point is going to be 90 degrees, and our other halfway point will be 270 degrees. If our full rotation or our full open is at 4 inches, that means that halfway will be 2 inches, 2 inches, and this will be 0 inches. So now we have our trim press going around in a circle. Now we need to grab hold of our sheet so that it can be indexed in. So the first thing we need to do is get with our nip wheels. So we want to close our nip wheels, and we want to make sure this happens before the locator cones lose control of the sheet. So as soon as the press starts to open, we want to engage our nip wheels or close them. Now we need to open our nip wheels. To open the nip wheels, it's the same thing on the opposite side, but we want to make sure that as soon as the locator cones gain contact with the sheet, we're releasing the sheet so that it can be guided into the proper position for trim. So now we're going around in a circle, we're opening and closing our nip wheels. Now we need to feed the sheet down so it can be trimmed. So to start our index, it's typically going to start around the halfway point, somewhere in this area. To stop our index, we're going to think about it in the opposite way. We're going to get just past our halfway point on the other end, and we're going to stop our index. So now we're going in a circle, we're opening and closing our nip wheels, and we're indexing the sheet. The next thing we need to do is get the parts out of the machine. So to do that, we're going to start our ejectors. When thinking about starting the ejectors, they take time to get to moving. So when you're starting the ejectors, they're going to start slightly before the trim press closes. To stop the ejectors, we want to prevent a crash condition. The crash condition occurs when the ejectors are out and the sheet starts to index. So we need to make sure that the ejectors are stopped and retracted prior to the start of the index. I hope this helps.